Good morning, good afternoon, good evening guys, wherever you are on this beautiful world, whenever you're watching this video, welcome to the Bitcoin family channel. For the newcomers, my name is Didi. First, a sip of my beautiful coffee. Do you like my mug? Bull market vibes. Yes, bears against the bulls, guys. In today's video, of course, again, 4 amazing Bitcoin charts. Really relaxing Zen Bitcoin charts. Exactly what all of you guys need, because my DMs are shit full of messages with the same question. Should I buy? Should I sell? What should I do? Are we gonna crash? I'm gonna answer all of these questions in today's video. Of course, a trading tip, a travel tip, also some live advice, and talking about the news about those spot ETFs, because something really strange that I noticed I want to share with all of you guys. Now let's quickly jump into the first part, the charts for today. Bam! The first chart for today, guys, is this 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, we can see that there is a buy signal building. We need to wait for a candle to close above that yellow stepping line. This current candle will close in 2 hours and 36 minutes. If it closes above that yellow stepping line, that is a confirmation of a buy signal. We, of course, also need a confirmation here on that white line. Yes, that's curling up. The blue line is already above it. And that yellow and the blue on the bottom over here, that needs to be gone as well. So that needs to turn green again for having a triple or even a quadruple confirmation to go into a long on the 4-hour chart, guys. I already told you all yesterday in the VIP group, I bought Bitcoin around that $38,700 level because I knew that $38,600 was a support level, and that is why I started to buy around that level. If we would have broken that support level, I would have bought a little bit more at 34K, for example, the next level of support. But let's jump into way more important charts that show you exactly what we are doing at the moment in Bitcoin and why we are doing this. Also, guys, if you want to have access to these signals, you need to join the Bitcoin Family VIP section. You can go to the bitcoinfamily.com, to the menu, search for products, and you will find how to get access, guys. You will also get access to the VIP group with signals, where we tell you exactly when we buy and sell our Bitcoins. Now, let's quickly jump into the next chart. The first chart, guys, is the Bitcoin Relative Strength Index, the RSI. You can see in each cycle, they were doing exactly the same. When we go up with those blue dots, we always have a correction with another blue dot a little bit lower. Just look to the left, look to those other cycles. Those blue dots go up to the 70 level in the beginning, and we drop back to the 65 level. Here, the second cycle, we went to the 67 level, bam, and we drop to the below the 65 level. Every time when that happens, now again that happened, we went up to the 64 level, 63 level, and we dropped back again with another blue dot. Nothing strange, just part of the cycles. The next chart is this one, the price versus reward block. We can see that every time when we are at the bear market bottom, where that yellow triangle is, that is the moment you should buying, because we will move in this block upwards. We were at that bottom, you could have bought at the bottom, you didn't, but now there is a dip. You should be buying a dip because you want to ride this beautiful roller coaster ride all the way up to that red triangle in the top, just above 100K. And yes, you can see that these blocks are having diminishing returns, but still the reward per block is going to divide by 2 around the halving in April 2024. From 6.25 BTC to 3.125 BTC. So the miners will mine less Bitcoins daily and thus have less revenue, so the Bitcoin price needs to double at least for them to still break even. Simple calculations. Then we have this chart, the Bitcoin long-term hodler NUPL. So what we can see is that every pre-bull market phase, when we turn green, is followed up by a yellow phase, a little bit less bullish. Optimism, but also anxiety, we call that phase. And we can see that every time then, there will be a dip. The first cycle, when we turned green, from yellow to green, we turned back to yellow, we had a 26% dip. The second cycle, that one of 2017, we turned from yellow to green, to yellow again, that was a 40% dip. The third cycle, we turned from yellow to green, and from green to yellow again in the pre-phase of the bull market, and that was a 53% dip. That was, of course, a bigger dip because of that whole COVID crash. Now again, we turned from yellow to green, and from green to yellow, and at the moment we have a 20% dip. Can that increase to a 30% dip? Yes, it can. That would be 34K levels, 31K levels, and maximum in my honest opinion. But I still see a lot of support around the 38K level, so let's just focus on that level first as support, and if we break it, then we already know what the next level of support will be. But the thing I want to show you with this chart is, this is completely normal. It is not some strange things happening because of news, happening because there's a different cycle, happening because there is a spot ETF. It is completely normal. As you can see, it has happened in every and each previous bull cycle as well. Now here you can see what exactly happened. If you draw the Fibonacci levels, every time during these bull cycles, when we hit the 0.786 Fibonacci level, we see a retrace. The first time it was 40%, the second time it was 53%. Again, I think it's a little bit high because of that COVID crash. And now this third time, we again reached that 0.786 level. I made a video about that 2 weeks ago. I told you, very important Fibonacci level. If we hit that level, there will be a retrace, and that is exactly what we're seeing. It was not a surprise. It's a complete healthy market structure that's being built to continue this massive bull run to higher all-time highs than we have ever seen before. That's why it's called an all-time high, Didi. So we are going to see 70K this year. Don't doubt, zoom out, buy the dip. On this chart, guys, you can see again the 4-year cycle, but you can also see the midpoint of that 4-year cycle. And the midpoint of the 4-year cycle is that red dotted line. Now, every cycle we move the same way. Just look at it. From 2014 to the 2017 top, to break the 2014 all-time high, that happened around that midpoint. So in the midpoint of that cycle, we broke the previous all-time high of 2014. Now if we move on to the next part, now the cycle of 2021, that you still remember of course, we broke the previous all-time high of 20K around that midpoint of the cycle again. Now, that midpoint of the cycle is in October 2024. I've been telling you already for months, maybe even already longer than a year, guys, the bull market top will be in 2025, and we will create a new all-time high in the end of 2024. And this chart is exactly showing that as well. Somewhere September, October, we should be breaking the previous all-time high of 70K. And then again, probably running up a little bit more in December, all the way to Christmas, to see another correction or dip in January, February 2025, to pick up new liquidity, to create the bull run top completely at the top above 100K. It's a very interesting chart. Pause the video if you want to analyze it a little bit more, but at midpoint till now was always the moment we broke the previous all-time high. On this chart you can see which levels are important at the moment. So we can see that the short-term dollar cost basis is the first level of massive support around that 34K, guys. Interesting chart. Pause this video to analyze a little more because else the video is getting too long. But these levels of support are always in the charts. It's not in the news, it's in the charts. Teach yourself to read these charts and you will understand exactly where the levels of support and resistance will be. When to buy and add to your position or when to sell, guys. Very interesting chart. I hope you really enjoyed the charts, guys. And yes, those charts always showing you the same. We are in a 4-year cycle, nearing the halving. We're going to see explosive moves in Bitcoin in 2024 and 25. And of course, we will also see these corrections. At the moment, around 20%. Maybe we could even dip to 30%. That would be like the 31 to 34K level. But for now, the 38K level that I already told you that we would go to like weeks ago is a massive area of support. So let's see if we break the level. If we keep support bouncing from here, V-shaped support up above 40K, that would be very positive. Also for the options that will expire, I think it's 4.5 billion worth of options that expire next Friday, guys. So let's see how the market is going to move, you know. But I really enjoy seeing these charts, zooming out, looking at that bigger picture and understanding exactly where we are at the cycle. And as I showed you on the chart, you know that Fibonacci level is very important. We hit it, we are retracing, finding support, and then we move on. just like every bull cycle. It is not about the news, it is not about the spot ETF, it's not about all the negativity or positivity. Whatever you read, the news is not leading. TA is leading, and the news is anticipating on a TA and creating articles because of that. And when it comes to affecting the price, I believe that news is just a very small part. The biggest part is TA. The charts always have something to say. Now, let's jump into the trading tip. Before I continue the video, guys, I want to ask you a very small thing. Can you please give this video already a thumbs up? Can you please share this video with all your friends and family so we can grow with the Bitcoin family to maybe 100K subscribers this year? Please help us growing with this channel by giving the video a thumbs up, by leaving a comment, but also by sharing it with all your friends and family so we grow a little bit faster. Thank you. Let's continue the video. The trading tip for today is buy the dip. I've been talking about this already for weeks now, that we could dip to 38K if we lose the 40K support. Now we are at 38K, and I know that you're doubting. I know that you're like, should I buy now? Should I wait till we go to 34K or 31K or maybe even back to 15K? What should I do? That's like natural. That's normal that you're doubting about that. But when it comes to buying a dip, you can also dollar cost average. Don't try to catch the exact bottom. If you're not a professional trader, you won't be able to catch that exact bottom because you're probably doing something else at that time. Walking the beach, probably working, maybe even doing something fun with your wife or your family. So don't try to catch the bottom. If you are in doubt, zoom out, understand that this is a dip, and dollar cost average into that dip. I texted yesterday in my VIP group, I'm buying around 38,700 US dollar. And if you fall a little bit lower to 34, I will buy a little bit more. And if you fall to 31, the next support level, I will add some more Bitcoins to my portfolio. I also added Chainlink to my portfolio because it was at $13 yesterday or something. So yeah, I really believe Chainlink is going to do well. So I also dollar cost average into the Chainlink yesterday. That is how I always treat these dips. When everyone is freaking out, I am zooming out, looking at that beautiful stress on the market and buying those dips. All of those people with weak hands are selling their Bitcoin now to the people like me with strong hands that understand how to buy a dip. And I don't need to catch the exact bottom. I'm happy with buying Bitcoin below 40K. Either way, 38K, beautiful. 37K, beautiful. 34K, also beautiful. 31K, amazing. But I will keep dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin during those dips. And before you know it, you will see this bounce, bam, up again to 40K, 50K, 60K, and then you're still doubting, should I buy? Should I wait to 31K? A Bitcoin bounce during the bull market can be really fast, pop. You don't want to miss that bounce. So you need to dollar cost average into that dip, guys. So that's a trading tip for today. Look always to the support levels and buy those dips. The travel tip for today is from one of the followers, and that follower that commented, Didi, I always travel with PVC electrical tape. You know, that's what we call duct tape, I think, and some tie wraps. Because you will always need those. And I need to agree, we always have this duct tape with us as well. Because you can repair your back, you can repair everything. You can even use it as a band-aid. You can use it for everything. If your shoes break or your flip-flops, duct tape will solve it. And duct tape is that, like, yeah, that's a PVC electrical tape. You know, that gray tape, that really strong tape. Man, I've repaired backpacks with it. Yes, I've connected my hammocks to trees with it. There's a lot of things you can do with duct tape. And tie wraps indeed as well. You can always use tie wraps to connect anything to each other again, guys. Even if your jacket breaks or whatever happens, or the zipper of your backpack breaks, you can always use tie wrap. They always come in handy. So, pack of tie wraps and PVC electrical tape, or we call it duct tape. Both of those, put them in your backpack because you will come into the situation that they will both come in handy. Thank you for commenting that amazing travel tip, and yes, making it possible for me to share it now again with the rest of the followers. Let's jump into the next part. And the next part, guys, is answering the question of one of the followers, and it was not one follower, it was like tons of followers that were asking me the same question. Should I buy now or should I wait before we go to 31K? I already answered that question with the trading tip, guys. In my honest opinion, there are a couple of support levels in Bitcoin. 38K is one of the support levels. 34K is another support level, and 31K is another support level. I would put buy orders at all those levels and then just zoom out. If you still have some USDT on Bybit, put buy orders at 38K, at 34K and 31K, and they will automatically be filled if we dip to those levels. If we don't dip to those levels, don't stress out as well. Then you have USDT parked that you can use for your spendings in your funding account with your Bybit debit card. It's not that bad to have a little bit of USDT in your portfolio. Maybe there will come a new project during this bull market that you think, hey, really cool, I want to put $1,000 in it or something. Then you have those USDT ready to do that, guys. And this is for the investors. This is for the people that just accumulate Bitcoin and hodl for the long term. If you're trading daily, it doesn't even matter because you should only be focusing on making 10% profit. So 10% from 40K to 44K, or from 36 to 40K, or from 31 to 38, whatever it is, 10% profit is 10% profit. You should be focusing on those small amounts of profits. 10% is maybe a little bit back, but like 1%, 2%, 3% profits each trade. It doesn't matter at which level Bitcoin is. As a trader, you just focus on making profit every day. Investor, yes, you dollar cost average into those dips. As a trader, you just keep putting longs and shorts at different levels that Bitcoin price is. So that's my answer to your question. If you would have been in the Bitcoin Family VIP group, you would have known that I bought yesterday at $38,700 US. So those Bitcoins are already a little bit in profit. It's very simple. When there is a dip and you see all negative news, and you see everybody screaming that we're going lower, 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 and you see whole X Twitter like, oh, it's going to be bear market again. That's the moment that the blood is on the streets, that everybody's crying, that everybody with the weak hands, those pussies, are selling. You should be buying. Very simple. That's what it is. So that's my answer to your question. Let's jump now into the next part. The next part is the news, guys, and the news is about the spot ETF. Also answering the question of a lot of people now. A lot of people don't understand the difference between all those companies that offer a spot ETF. Grayscale is one of the oldest ones that had a shitload of Bitcoins in their portfolio. But they have an administration fee of 1.5% per year. The 9 other spot ETF companies, they have 0.25 to 0.4% per year in fees. So what is happening now at the moment is that all those people that had a Bitcoin spot ETF as Grayscale are selling their spot ETFs there to be able to buy the spot ETF at those 9 companies and lower their yearly fees. And that is why we see a lot of outflows in Grayscale, GBTC, and a lot of inflows in those others. Some days there's a little bit more inflow than outflow, but yesterday, for example, there was more outflow than there was inflow. But at the end, it's just shift of hands. People don't want to pay those fees. I really don't understand why Grayscale didn't lower the fees from 1.5% to 0.25% or 0.4%. They say because internationally everyone is like around 1%. In Canada, I think it's 1%. In Europe, it's 1.5%. So those two factors made Grayscale decide to keep it to 1.5%. They were 2% before. But those others are very cheaper. So people are just moving their Bitcoin spot ETFs from there to there. The only thing I'm not completely 100% sure of, but as far as I know, from my understanding, people that sell the spot ETF at Grayscale, regulatory, they can only buy back 30 days later at a new spot ETF. So there is a gap of 30 days, in my opinion, that those people are selling at Grayscale, and they are not able yet to buy back on those other spot ETF companies. As far as I know, they need to wait 30 days, but I don't know this for sure. If you know this for sure, comment down below. Because if that is happening, then all those inflows that are now at those 9 other companies are natural inflows of new people. And those people are selling at Grayscale at the moment. They can't buy back yet. They will buy in 30 days. So then that will double the inflow amount in 30 days, which will lead to a massive push in the Bitcoin price. So it's very important that we figure out if that 30-day rule is an official rule, yes or no. If it is an official rule, it would be crazy cool, because that means that all the people buying now at those 9 other spot ETF companies are new people, new blood into the market, new liquidity. Those selling, parking their money now, waiting for 30 days to add that liquidity again, and also those 9 spot ETF companies would be bullish as hell. So let me know down below if you know exactly what is happening. And also guys, if it comes to these United States Bitcoin spot ETFs, it's very important to understand that Europeans are not yet allowed to buy them. I think there's still some paperwork that needs to be done by the EU for European people to be able to buy those US spot ETF also on the market. So the whole European market has not joined that US market yet because they are not allowed yet because of some paperwork. So if those two things are considered done like in 30 days, let's see how much liquidity will then come to the market, guys. Let me know down below what is your opinion about it. Let's jump into the next part. And as this video is all about dips, today in the live advice I'm going to talk about those dips as well. Because a lot of people ask me, Didi, I am really depressive, I'm really in this dip, I don't like living in the country anymore, I want to take my family out there. How do I survive those dips? How do I get out of these dips? I think it's very simple. Stop talking about all your problems and start to talk about all your joys. I think that's the first thing, the first step that everyone can take that doesn't cost any money. Stop talking about all those issues in your life, those problems, that negativity, and start to focus on all the joy in your life and all the positivity. I think that's the most important step you can take from the beginning. Because I meet a lot of people during these travels all over the world. And I meet a lot of people that are stuck in that hamster wheel, that are stuck, that are really like, what can I do? What should I do? This is a problem, this is an issue, my job is this is not nice, this I don't like. And then I just tell them, but what do you like? What brings you joy? What is the positive thing that you're living for? And then they turn around, then they start to be happy. And I see the change in their face. I see a smile. I'm like, yeah, man, I love to travel. I love to taste all kinds of food. I'm a cook. I love to prepare food. I love to go to cook classes and all that stuff. And you see the face changing from to, yeah, and I love. And that is exactly what you should fill your day with. Every day, just focus on the joy. Just talk about the joy. Your wife's joy, your kids' joy. Focus on joy. And you will slowly crawl out of that negative spiral that you're putting yourself in because only talking about your problems. Ignore those problems. Ignore the negativity. Focus on the positivity. The more you focus on all that negative shit and all your problems, the more you will go down in that spiral. And you can go down very far. Believe me, I was down with a huge burnout. I never want to be there again. I will never wish anyone that feeling. I needed to start to focus on positive things, on joy. And for me at that moment, the solution was breaking out of the system, going on a 3-month trip with my family in 2016 to Thailand, to the beach, new environment, new energy, new people. Focus on beautiful things like my family. And that is what made it possible for me to break out of that downward spiral. I had a lot of issues with breaking out of the downward spiral in the Netherlands because you're stuck and you're surrounded with those people that will keep sucking you down and down and down. I didn't want that anymore, so I stopped focusing on my problems, stopped focusing on all the negativity, started to focus on positive things. Let's book a beautiful trip. Let's go to Thailand to have a physical and mental reset. Let's walk the beach. Let's have some amazing cocktails. That is what I started to focus on. And when I arrived in Thailand, it took 2 to 3 weeks and I was back. All negativity was gone. All was filled with positive energy and positive vibes. And that's how I conquered a huge burnout of negativity spiral by just breaking the chain, doing something completely different and focusing on those positive things in life, the joy. And that's how I really solved it. So in my honest opinion, if people ask me, I'm in this downward spiral, I'm in a dip, what should I do? If you like spiritual stuff, maybe you should do ayahuasca. I did ayahuasca also 8 times. Beautiful. It shows you a little bit more about yourself and how to change yourself. If you're not into spiritual stuff, then just break that negative cycle. Start to focus on positive things. Start to talk about positive things. Talk about your joy in your life with other people. and slowly you will crawl out of this negative spiral to the top again and fly as a beautiful bird all over the sky, enjoying life, guys. Now, that was the last part of the video. I hope you really enjoyed that part. If you did enjoy the part, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. What do you think about the charts, about all the other information, and of course also about the live lesson? Thank you for watching. Hopefully we will reach 75K followers very soon. You can help me by giving this video already a thumbs up, but also by sharing it with all your friends and family. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you will be notified every time again when I make a video. But the most important part to reach 75K now is that you share this with all your friends and family all over the world. Please share this YouTube channel so we can grow to 75K and even 100K this year, guys. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow again. Bam.